The tropics and the Atlantic have been very quiet this year, despite a forecast from NOAA and other experts forecasting an above-average season. For the first time in 25 years, the month of August did not have a named storm. But as the calendar turned to September, things appear to have changed rather quickly in the tropical Atlantic. On Thursday, the National Hurricane Center announced Tropical Depression 5 had strengthened into Tropical Storm Danielle. The storm currently is in the North Atlantic and is expected to strengthen into a hurricane by Saturday. Danielle is not a threat to any land at this time and is expected to remain nearly stationary through the weekend. Hurricane season is about to ramp up, but may not reach the level originally forecasted. Meantime, it's been 3 years since Hurricane Dorian hit the Bahamas, decimating Abaco and Grand Bahama Islands, and a week-long memorial is now underway to support survivors and remember lives lost in the storm. Our One Caribbean News' DeAndre Hamilton reports.
The Atlantic Basin right now is very active, and we can't help but remember one of the most tragic events that gravely impacted the Commonwealth of the Bahamas in recent history. Hurricane Dorian hit the Bahamas on September 1st, 2019, and it is an event that Bahamians, especially those from the islands of Abaco and Grand Bahama, will never forget. The country is hosting a one-week memorial, which started on Friday, August 26th, and will end on September 4th. According to Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Clint Watson, there is a strong focus on mental health.
We've asked talk shows throughout the country to turn their topic towards mental health after Dorian.
Watson noted that this is to provide mental support to those unable to get it.
They probably don't have the funds to go to a professional psychologist to get help. They don't know where to go to get counseling. So we've asked radio stations and TV shows to bring on guests who are good in psychology, who are good in counseling, so that for one day.
The week of activities is being held under the theme, The Courage to Rebuild. The activities include a range of events, some of which include the launch of a Disaster Reconstruction Authority home repairs program on August 31st, and on September 1st, a Remembrance Day will be observed. Between September 1st and 4th, memorial concerts will be hosted in New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Abaco. There will also be wreath-laying ceremonies to honor Dorian victims throughout the 3 days. According to the Inter-American Development Bank, Hurricane Dorian cost about $3.4 billion in damages, about 1/4 of the Bahamas' GDP. Approximately 74 people died as a result of the hurricane, and about 245 people were reported as missing. DeAndre Hamilton reporting.
A FEMA administrator is visiting the U.S. Virgin Islands to discuss the territory's hurricane preparedness. Deanne Criswell reviewed ongoing response and recovery activities in the VI with visits to Government House and the Water and Power Authority's power generation plant on St. Croix. The visit was to get an update on recovery efforts from Hurricanes Irma and Maria. It was her second visit here as FEMA administrator. Criswell said visits like this give her the chance to engage with community partners and to better understand the ongoing recovery mission. As new threats emerge, like sargassum and the effects of climate change, FEMA continues to work closely with Governor Bryan and all the territory's agencies to move recovery forward in the Virgin Islands. She also visited the Juan F. Louis Hospital North on St. Croix for an update on the status of construction on the temporary hospital slated to open later this year. Criswell is the second high-ranking Biden administration official to visit the USVI this year alone. In Puerto Rico, a team of FEMA administrators met with the mayor of Loiza to visit a reconstruction project recently completed. The project is part of the recovery process after Hurricane Maria. Francis Felix was there and brings us more.
As part of the ongoing process of reconstruction of Loiza, due to the Hurricane Maria, the Palmaneras Sport Complex was presented to the community by the mayor and FEMA administration.
The recreational complex in the Palmaneras housing is located in Mediania Baja neighborhood on Loiza. For this project, FEMA approved over $451,000 plus an allocation of over $11,000 for mitigation works at making the structure more resistant to future disasters.
Pues mira, esto es parte de todos proyectos pequeños.
This is part of the projects, small and bigs, that we are working with FEMA reconstruction funds. It was inaugurated the Piñones Park, the Cuevas basketball court, and these facilities that are beautiful and the community are using it. The mayor also added that other projects are on design or in construction, and every one of them are equally important. For her, each community deserves having facilities in optimal conditions. Loíza has a global allocation from FEMA of over $25.9 million for all its reconstruction works, including repairs and improvement to parks, courts, and recreational areas.
There are so many projects that FEMA is working with the municipalities, and the commitment that the agency have with the reconstruction of Puerto Rico is evident when you visit this type of projects.
This recreational space has an open court to practice basketball and volleyball, an outdoor gym, and a passive park.
This sport complex is one example of 10,000 projects between FEMA and various municipalities all over the island. Rebuilding bridges, roads, and public spaces such as this have been the focus of the agency.
And the different municipalities all around the island. We want to convey that the sport complex and the projects that has to do with community center obligations and projects are part of the way that FEMA wants to be and is efficient and has that level of commitment with Puerto Rico.
The subdirector of FEMA External Affairs emphasizing the commitment the agency have with the island.
We continue to work hard, and the staff here in Puerto Rico continues to have the focus of accelerating the recovery, and we are not only committed, but we are working hard with the government of Puerto Rico to achieve that.
The agency will review the progress of all working sites in the month of September, which marks the 5 years of the passing of Maria through Puerto Rico. Reporting from Loíza, Puerto Rico, Frances Felix.
The Jamaica government has responded to the looming teacher shortage at the start of the new school term by granting approval for retired teachers and those who are on long leave. It's all part of an effort to fill areas of specialization where schools are not able to find adequate replacements. Minister of Education Fayval Williams advised school principals of the solution as education officials continue to assess the impact of the number of teachers migrating. With the new school year set to begin next week, the Ministry of Education says it expects to lose hundreds of teachers through teacher migration. Meanwhile, school administrators across the island are busy recruiting new teachers to fill positions that are left vacant. President of the Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools, Linvern Wright, said administrators have stepped up to ensure a smooth reopening of schools.
Well, recruitments seem to be going as normal. We are putting out ads and persons are responding and we are interviewing. The real challenge now is the number of resignations we are going to get at this last minute and to fill those to ensure that everything is okay for next week. But hopefully between now and next week to at least the second week, we will have filled those positions once people are available. Well, people are reporting resignations as I speak. So in our principals group, principals report that people are resigning. So you get that because and that is something that had been said in the past. We had said that earlier, that what you really get historically are people resigning usually in the last week of August to the first week of September. It has always been a challenge, but if it is that the numbers are more now, then you're going to have more work to fill these positions and then more students are going to be without classes.